Hi, welcome to my next video on tips and tricks to answer questions easily for the entrance chemistry questions. I have been giving you a series of videos on many tips and tricks to answer questions on various topics, that is in either JEE or in the NEET questions. So, I hope it is you are finding it useful for your preparation of your entrance exam. Please do comment about the videos, and suppose if you want on some other topics also, you please do let me know what topics you need to have the tips and tricks to answer the questions. Okay. So, without wasting much time, we will go to the next tips and tricks in solving questions on balancing the redox equations. So, I have seen many students find it difficult to balance the redox equations because it is a very big process and it takes time, and if you have do it correctly in the first shot, it is okay, but if you are making any mistake, means you have to go back again and find out, which means effectively you will be spending more time on one question. So, in entrance examinations, you all know very well that you do not have much time for any of these entrance, whether it is JEE or NEET, you hardly have a minute for answering any question. So, you can't waste more time on one particular question, especially on those questions which you think you know. Okay, and if you are going to spend more time on that, it will be difficult. So, I will teach you a shortcut method to solve the equations quickly, so that you can easily answer questions based on the balanced redox equations. Okay. Now, let us see how do we do this. Let us take an example of some equation, and I will take an example of say MnO4 minus KMnO4 minus, that is KMnO4 will be MnO4 minus plus C2H2O4. This is oxalic acid giving you Mn2 plus CO2 plus H2O. CO2 plus H2O. Okay. Now, this is an equation. You will be getting an equation like this for solving this. So, the tips and tricks. Now, remember, the first tip is whenever you have any compound, you look at the oxidizing agent or reducing agent, you remove the cation, because cations are not going to take part in the redox reaction. Therefore, you can conveniently remove them. You can, if you want, you can add it also, but that does not really contribute to the balanced equation. So, you remove the cation. This will be KMnO4 actually. So, I remove the cation, it will become C4 minus. This is again oxalic acid, is MnO2. So, the first tip is remove cations, because cations are not going to contribute, that is group 1 and group 2 elements, and you have to be careful with D block and P block elements. So, in D block elements and P block elements, cations you have to retain it. I will show you with an example, especially chromium, because K2Cr2O7 is an oxidizing agent, we will be using it chromium. So, chromium you should not remove, whereas cations, especially group 1 and 2, remove the cations. And second, remove the H plus ions, OH minus ions and water molecules. Whatever is given in the equation, you remove them, because you will be adding it anyway while balancing the equation. So, you remove that also. Once you remove this, you will. Then the third step is, first you separate the couples, separate the redox couples. I will show you how to do that. Then first balance the heteroatom, that is other than oxygen and hydrogen. When I mean by heteroatom, other than oxygen and hydrogen, first you balance on both sides. Then next is you balance oxygen by adding water. On whichever side the oxygen is less, how much is less, you add that many number of water molecules. Suppose if 2 oxygen is less on one side, means you add 2 water molecules. 1 oxygen is less, means you add 1 water molecule, like that. So, that is balance O by adding water. Now, once you add water, that means you are introducing hydrogen into the equation. Therefore, how many hydrogen you have introduced? Suppose if you would have introduced 2 water molecules, you will have 4 hydrogen. So, now balance hydrogen by adding H plus. H plus. How much H plus is required? Suppose if you add 2 H2O, then you will add 4 H plus. 3 H2O means 6 H plus and so on. Then the next step is balance the charge. Balance charge by adding electrons, very important. By adding electrons. You should not subtract electrons, you should add electrons and balance the charge. I will show you how to do that. Okay, then you add all the equations, add both equations, cancel similar terms, cancel similar terms. Now you will have the equation balanced in acidic medium. Now the equation is balanced in acidic medium. Whatever the equation that you are going to get, you will be balancing it in acidic medium. Suppose if the same question is being asked to balance it in the alkaline medium, what you have to do is, the next step is add OH equal to number of H plus on both sides, and then both sides again cancel the, after that again cancel similar terms, so that to get the final equation. Okay, I will just quickly go through the steps that you need to follow. First, remove the cations, especially group 1 and 2, or not D block or P block, especially D block. Remove H plus OH minus water from the equation. Then separate the redox couple. Then first balance the heteroatom, that is atoms other than hydrogen and oxygen, you balance it. Then you balance O by adding water, number of O. If you have to balance 2O on other side, add 2 water molecules. 3O means 3 water molecules. Then if you add, you will have hydrogen introduced into the equation. Once you introduce the hydrogen into the equation, you add that many number of hydrogen. Suppose if you have added 2 water molecules, you will add 4 H plus. 3 water molecules, 6 H plus and so on. Then you balance the charge. Balance the charge by adding electrons, very important. You should not subtract electrons, you should add electrons. Then add both the equations, that is the redox couple that you have separated, the reduction couple and oxidizing couple, add these two together to get the final equation, and in similar terms on either side of the equation you can cancel, usually the water molecules or the number of H plus or whatever it is, you can cancel this term. That means you will be balancing it in the acidic medium. Then if you want to balance the same in the alkaline medium, what you have to do is you have to add OH minus equal to the number of H plus in the given equation on both sides. Okay, I want you to pause the video and copy this in your notebook, so that I will apply this to this equation to balance the equation. Okay, okay. So now first one is, I have removed the group 1 element, potassium I have removed, there is no other element. This is group D block element, I am retaining it, I am not removing it, you should retain this. Then the next step is remove the H plus OH minus and water. There is only one water here, so I am removing the water. I am removing the water. So the third step is separate the couple. Separate the couple. That is, how do you separate the couple? MnO4 minus becomes Mn2 plus. Okay, and similarly C2H2O4 becomes CO2. So you can easily identify the couple. So take similar atoms, this will be one couple, take similar atoms, this will be another couple. Okay, so you separate this. Now first balance the heteroatom, 1 Mn, 1 Mn, balanced, no problem. 4O is here, there is no O here. Okay, now what you have to do? So add, O should be added as water molecule, I told you. 4O means 4 water molecules. 4O means 4 water molecules. Then what you have to do? Now you have 8H here. Here you don't have H. So I told you balance hydrogen by adding H plus. 8H you got 8H. So Mn is balanced, O is balanced, hydrogen is balanced, left over is a charge. So in this side, if you see in the LHS, you have 8 plus. You have 8 plus. Okay, and 1 minus and 1 minus and 1 minus. So this will be 7 plus. This will be 7 plus on this side. This side, if you see, there is only 2 plus. 2 plus. I told you, you have to balance the charge by adding electrons. So which side you will add? you will add only to this side. So, if you add 5 electrons, it will become 2 plus. That means both sides will be same. Therefore, you add 5 electrons. Please understand this step very carefully. Okay, I have 7 plus here and 2 plus on right side. As I told you, you have to balance the charge by adding electrons. Therefore, you can add only this side. Here you can't add the electrons. Here you can't add the electrons. Here only you can add the electrons. So, if you add 5 electrons, this will become 2 plus. So, 2 plus 2 plus will be same. So, 5 electrons. So, this is over. Now, this equation is over. Now, here you come to this next equation here. So, you have first you have to balance the heteroatom. 2 carbon. So, you have put 2 carbon. Okay. 2 carbon, 2 carbon. Then as I told you, 4 hydrogen, 4 oxygen, 4 oxygen. No problem, balanced. 2 hydrogen, no hydrogen. Therefore, you put 2 H plus. 2 H plus you put. So, carbon is balanced, oxygen is balanced, hydrogen is balanced, leftover is charge. So, here you have 2 plus on the right side. Here the charge is 0, no charge is here. As I told you, you have to add electrons to balance the charge. So, what you have to do now? How to make it 0? You add 2 electrons. If you add 2 electrons, it will be 0 on both sides. Okay. Now, at this stage, you can get a clue. In this equation, if you have added electron in the left side, in the other equation, you should add it on the right side. That is the important clue. In both the equations, it cannot be on the same side. It cannot be on the same side. Suppose if you are doing it like that, that means you are making a mistake. You have to be very careful about that. So, this side left means in this equation, it should be on the right. Then one more step I forgot to tell you, you have to cancel the electrons. Please include in that previous step that after balancing the charge, you have to cancel the electrons. You have to cancel the electrons. So, how do you cancel the electrons? Now, here 5 electrons are there, here 2 electrons are there. So, the LCM for these two will be this you multiply by 2 and this you multiply by 5. So, please include this step in the previous instructions I gave you, that is after balancing the charge in the equation, you have to cancel the electrons by using LCM. I have left out that rule. Please include that rule in that next step after charging, after balancing the charge. Now, if you multiply by 2, so this will be, now I will write it here. So, 2MnO4 minus plus 16H plus 10 electrons will give you 2Mn2 plus 8H2O. So, you have to multiply by 2. Then if you multiply this by 5, so you take 5 C2H2O4 and then it becomes 10 CO2 plus 10 H plus 10 electrons. Now, add these two equations. So, you have 10 electrons here and 10 electrons here. So, you have 16H here and 10H here, this becomes 6H here, as I told you. That is all you can have. So, now the final equation will be 2MnO4 minus, I think I will write it here. So, 2MnO4 minus plus 5 plus you have 6H plus here, 6H plus 5C2H2O4, 5C2H2O4. This gives you 2Mn2 plus 8H2O plus 10 CO2. So, this is the final equation, balanced equation, final balanced equation. Okay. So, this will be 10 CO2. So, you can cross check 2Mn. Okay. 6H, 10H, 10 plus 6, 16H. So, here you can see 16H. O is 2 4s are 8O and 5 4s are 20O. 2 20 plus 8, 28O. You can see here 8 plus 20, 28O. C, you see there is 10C here, 10C here, here 10C here. Charge 2 minus 6 plus, 2 minus 6 plus, that will be 4 minus, sorry 4 plus, 4 plus you will have. So, here you have 4 plus, 2 into 2, 4 plus. Now, this is a balanced equation. This is a balanced equation in the acidic medium, because this is containing H plus, therefore, this is balanced in acidic medium. As I told you, if you want to balance this in alkaline medium, what you have to do is you have to add OH minus. So, here you have 6H, therefore, you have to add 6 OH minus on this side. So, since it is a balanced equation, you have to add on both the sides. So, here also you have to add on 6 OH minus. So, now you will have 6H plus and 6 OH minus will give you 6 water molecule. 6 water molecule. So, you can cut 6 water molecule here with 2 water molecule. So, the final equation will be, I will rub this. Final equation will be in alkaline medium 2MnO4 minus plus 5C2H2O4. 5C2H2O4 gives you 2Mn2 plus 2H2O plus 10CO2 plus 6 OH minus. 6 OH minus. Now, you can see that this is in alkaline medium. This is balanced in alkaline medium. This is balanced in the acid medium. This is balanced in the acid medium. So, this is the easiest way to solve the redox equation. By now, the question that can be asked from this is the coefficient of the balanced redox equation for this is A. They will give you like this A. So, this is 2, 5, 2, 2, 10, 6 in the case of alkaline. In the case of acidic, you will have B will be say 2, 6, 6, 5, 5, 2, 8, 10, 6, 8, 10, 8, 10. So, like this they will give you some options. The stoichiometric coefficient of the balanced equation for this redox reaction is. So, they will give you various combinations in that order. In that order, you have to check the order in which it is given, okay, in this given. So, you have to go in that order. So, you should not change the order, look at the order in that order. So, then you will see this, you can choose this. So, if you do it in, if you practice many equations based on this, then it will be easy for you to solve. Actually, in your textbook and all, there are two methods given for balancing the redox equation. One is the oxidation number method, another is the ion equation method. Actually, I have blended both here in order to get the easier way. So, this is, I felt in many students have also seen that this is very easier. Okay. So, if you practice writing, balancing many such equations like this, it will be easy for you. Okay. So, I will try to balance some more equations in my next video, so that you see whether you are able to answer that, and based on that balancing, how we can calculate the equivalent weight of a particular compound, that also we will find out by balancing the redox equations. So, if you like this video, please comment in the comment section. The online test for this balancing redox equations I have given in the description below. So, please look at the description below, and also you can take the notes on this, I have given it in the description section below. Please do comment about the video, whether you like it, whether you want to improve it in whatever way you want. Please suggest to me, I can improve the video. That will motivate me to produce more and more videos on topics that you may require for your entrance exam preparation. So, feel free to comment the whatever you feel about the video. Honestly, it takes a lot of time and effort for preparing each videos. So, unless your words are very important, unless your words motivate, it will be very difficult for me to prepare any video on any topic. So, please do put your comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.